We are going to focus on a big debate tonight. Viewers, a cabal of pseudo-liberal activists demonized a perfectly legitimate order issued by Karnataka pre-university colleges, banning the hijab from the classroom. Why? To further uniformity. The High Court, a 3-judge bench of the High Court, upheld the ban. But viewers, this pseudo-liberal cabal continued to attack the Karnataka government order as well as the courts. They said that the order was an act of Hindutva assertion. In fact, they even questioned the High Court. Others talked about dismantling Hindutva when they said, which they said had seeped into every Indian institution, corroding our liberal democracy, including, of course, the courts. Still others said that the hijab ban was a sure sign that India had become a Hindu Rashtra where Muslims had no future. Such was the force of the frenzy whipped up by this cabal that young Muslim women, misled into believing that they were being victimized for being Muslims, began to oppose the ban and the court order. These young women defiantly began to sport the hijab, which has been widely dismissed even in Muslim nations as a symbol of medieval misogyny and oppression. Viewers, this scurrilous propaganda is being used now very disturbingly by the chief of Islamic terror outfit Al-Qaeda to claim that Muslims are being suppressed in India. Yes, viewers, the likes of global terrorist Al-Zawahiri are hailing Muskan Khan, who became the instant poster girl of the pseudo-liberal ecosystem. Why? Why, viewers? Because she imbibed their propaganda hook, line, and sinker. Zawahiri has now written a poem in Muskan Khan's honor, saying that he was floored by the young pro-hijab activists for countering saffron shawl-clad anti-hijab activists with Allahu Akbar slogans. Zawahiri has christened her a noble woman of India. Yes, viewers. While Zawahiri may believe this, his contentions are absolutely wrong. And it now is very clear that he himself finds that there might be an opportunity here to divide our country. But first, listen to Zawahiri.
أنا صرخة المظلوم ضد الظالمين وثبات مؤمنة بوجه المعتدين أنا هبة المغصوب ضد الغاصبين أنا نهضة المسلوب والمستضعفين.
I am the cry of the oppressed against the oppressors. While Zawahiri may believe that Indian Muslims must emulate Muskan and fight oppression at the hands of Hindus in India, the hard facts suggest that India is tolerant and provides equal opportunities for Sabka Vikas. Now, viewers, here are some hard facts that we put together for you, which actually fact checks this entire ecosystem of propagandists. Viewers, let's break this down. The Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. Under this Yojana, 31% houses have been built in minority-dominated areas. It did not skip minority-dominated areas. 31% of Muslims living in homes because of the Prime Minister's scheme. 33% beneficiaries of the Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi are minorities, viewers. They have not been overlooked. The Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana, 37% beneficiaries were minorities, viewers. Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana, 36% beneficiaries were minorities. So viewers, there has been no discrimination. No discrimination as far as institution response to Muslims is concerned and their welfare is concerned. 22,000 crores spent by the Center on Minority Welfare, scholarships to 3.2 crore students from minority communities. This is between 2013 and 2019. The number of Muslims completing school education now, viewers, between 2005 and 2006 and 2015 and 2016 has shown growth, both amongst males and females, which shows that institutionally there is no organized discrimination against them. No one is keeping them out of schools. Muslims in the highest wealth quintile, which is roughly, viewers, 20% of this country, they've also grown from 17% to 18.8%, almost 19%, 2% growth in 10 years. Viewers, there are several other statistics like this that I can quote. But there are certain questions to be asked, and let's throw this open to our guest tonight. The main question, of course, is that the blatant bid by an international terror outfit to incite sentiments in India, isn't this clear proof that activists in India are working with external forces to destabilize social relations in India? That's one of the fundamental questions. Mr. Jha, Sanjay Jha, that represents the Congress Party, Ifra Jan, that represents the National Conference, is here with us tonight. And let me ask you some questions. Mr. Jha, is it now apparent to you that your support for hijab in classrooms, suggesting that this was a diktat that was somehow conjured by minds that were bigoted against Muslim interests, has aligned you with misogynistic, obscurantist groups like the Al-Qaeda or other hidden instigators like perhaps the PFI that want to take Muslim women back into the fold of patriarchy? You embolden them.
Can I answer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. First and foremost, Rahul, as a student of economics, I want to congratulate you for putting out the data that says that the government welfare on various subsidies have been received by X percentage of Muslims. That establishes the very point, which is actually evident in all the reports that have been prepared earlier, that the Muslims are actually very worse off in the entire, what we call as the economic food chain, and therefore they get disproportionately larger benefits. So thank you very much, because that explodes the very point of minority appeasement. We'll debate it another time. But let me tell you, you're factually right, and I cannot accuse you today of mendacity.
No, just answer my question.
Point number two.
There is just some questions that I need you to answer, and I'm asking you by constantly labeling India. No, I'm repeating the question because maybe you didn't hear it the first time. I'm not looking for certificates, sir.
Actually, I did.
About my facts. My facts are never wrong.
No, I did hear your question.
Let me just finish.
Spare yourself the bother of repetition.
Just let me finish, sir.
Spare yourself the bother of repetition. Let's use the airtime more productively.
No, because it's very important that you get the question clear so that you answer clearly on the point. I don't have all the time in the world. And we can't have a situation where guests eat up the time of other guests by taking us down rabbit holes and saying exactly what I've said.
It sounds funny, but I'm going to tell you, be my guest.
I don't want to be in an echo chamber, sir. Maybe you guys are used to it in the Congress, etc. I don't want to be in that echo chamber. I just want to keep getting the responses to the questions I'm asking. My questions are well-researched. My facts are well-researched because I believe here on India Upfront to bring my viewers closer to the truth. Now, I'm asking you this question against for the record. By constantly labeling India's institutions as majoritarian, have the liberal Lutyens gang given the Al-Qaeda space to berate India by wrongly turning the perfectly legitimate hijab ban order in schools into an act of Hindutva assertion? You are giving terrorist organizations today a platform to berate India. Sanjay Jha, that's my question. Respond to the question.
Okay, on the kind request that you will not interrupt me till I
Won't.
finish, and I won't take very long.
Will not.
Lovely. We got a deal. Okay. Simple. I remember being on your program, Rahul Shivshankar. Not just yours, but including Navika's and others, where you strongly condemned, and I actually believe that's good journalism, where you said this whole image of a Muslim girl and a horde of boys in saffron scarves, and this girl looking isolated and fearful was condemnable. It showed a very polarized society. So the truth, Rahul, is not only were you watching and condemning it, not only was I and Anand and other people watching it in India, so were others. And the other critical point, and this is why you need to bite the bullet here on your program today, and I do hope you'll give me a chance to come again after everyone has had a pitch. Simple. Let me tell you who runs the government. If you're going to create an ecosystem, a term that you used in your introduction, where halal, genocide of Muslims, where, don't work near a temple, put meat bans, lynch people, have BJP leaders talk about Sakshi Maharaj, the whole works, talk about sending people to Pakistan, indulge in dog whistle politics, including the Prime Minister and the Home Minister of India, you are attracting terrible global attention. I'm worried today whether BJP's absolutely partisan parochial politics is now going to result in some very violent international terrorist organizations looking at creating disruption in our country. If anybody is responsible, it is the Bharatiya Janata Party. Let me put this on record.
It's very interesting, Mr. Jha. Not a word tonight from Mr. Jha distancing himself from the likes of Ayman Al-Zawahiri. Can you believe it, viewers? I would have started by saying,
in the strongest possible terms.
Excuse me. I would have started by saying, Ayman Zawahiri, or whatever your name is, get out of your cave, get off your soapbox, submit yourself to the closest court, preferably not in Pakistan, but in the United States. First, answer for the hateful crimes that you have committed before lecturing India. Before lecturing India, viewers, on being an open and tolerant democracy. What does the Al-Qaeda stand for? Do we all know?
Shouldn't that worry you? Shouldn't that worry all of us here today?
It should worry you.
No, doesn't it worry you?
It should worry you. If it worries you so much, you should be condemning the Al-Qaeda, not saying that, oh, this government has given the Al-Qaeda of all organizations. No, one second. An excuse to target India. I do not know. I do not know. Have we come to a point in our politics? Fair enough, sir. Look, I am not sitting here and defending anybody.
Defend the BJP.
I'm only asking a question. Listen to me, Sanjay Jha. I only asked you a question. Are you unwittingly today by wrongly championing hijab, which has been struck down by the courts?
Hey, by the way, the matter is
listen to me, sir. A three-judge bench. Don't shout me down. I'm only stating facts. Three-judge.
Why are you misrepresenting truth?
Mr. Sanjay Jha, three-judge bench of the High Court has passed a detailed order.
There is a Supreme Court.
Excuse me. The Supreme Court itself, it says we are in no hurry to hear this matter, because the Supreme Court itself has said that this particular
the Supreme Court judgment,
sir, that this particular judgment, that this
what
particular
has the Supreme Court said on the particular
the Supreme
judgment?
Court has come out and said very clearly that we are in no hurry to hear this. Clearly, the Supreme
Article
Court.
370.
No, 1 second.
Like electoral
no, Sanjay Jha, this is a statement they have made. I am only quoting the facts here. They said, don't be in a hurry. Perhaps because...
So is that a verdict?
No, if it was such a... Excuse me, sir. Are you suggesting that the Supreme Court is insensitive to illegality? If it was such an illegal judgment, they would have immediately, perhaps even suo moto, taken note, which they have done in the past. Anyhow, I don't want to get into all of this. The fact of the matter is today, viewers, a whole ecosystem championed the hijab. There were ladies in universities who started wearing it. I hope they haven't taken it off. They should. Like we are all wearing our masks today because of Omicron. This threat of Hindu assertiveness hasn't gone away, if you were to believe them. So they should continue to wear their hijab for the rest of their lives. And become,
you don't have to polarize
a cog in the patriarchal wheel. And become a cog in the patriarchal wheel. But that, look, I'm not getting into my position on this. I'm stunned today, viewers, that Ayman Al-Zawahiri, the butcher of humanity, of every known democratic fundamental, is today not being criticized by the Congress party spokesperson.
What a joke.
Mr. Sanjay.
What a joke.
I cannot believe it. I was started by... Anyhow, let me bring in Dr.
Shivshankar, for the record, you are lying on national television.
Okay.
No one in their right senses can ever endorse or approve of the kind of violent kind of manifestations we saw in 9/11.
But doesn't it worry you that you sound like him?
Stop being stupid.
You sound exactly like him. You sound exactly like him.
I have to tell you, due apologies, you sound stupid.
Doctor, fair enough. Dr. Ranganathan, I don't know. I would be very disturbed if what I was saying was giving an excuse to the likes of Ayman Al-Zawahiri or whatever his name is to come out here and lecture India on democratic values. The first thing I would do is, hey, Al-Qaeda, get lost. Don't lecture India. But no.
And you think the job is done by saying that, is it?
Dr. Ranganathan.
How farcical is this?
You see, I show you the facts. I demonstrate the facts. You twist them on their head. I show you the proof that there is no suppression of Muslims in this country. Muslims are doing well in this country. They are being benefited by the state. You turn it on its head. You congratulate me for bringing out the real facts. So either they are being suppressed or they're not being suppressed. The facts say they're not being suppressed. Nonetheless, Dr. Ranganathan, please. And I'll bring in Sanju Verma right after.
Yes, good evening, Rahul. For the record, you have given Sanjay Al-Jha 9 minutes. So can I please request 2 minutes of uninterrupted time? Thank you so much.
Well,
Rahul, you were bang on about the statistics.
Mr. Anand Golwalkar Ranganathan. No. Mr. Anand Savarkar Ranganathan.
Okay,
Mr. Anand Godse Ranganathan.
Okay, let's keep this above board, gentlemen, please. Dr. Ranganathan, Dr. Ranganathan, let's keep this straight. Please, let's just keep this straight.
Get on with it.
Okay, let's keep this straight, please.
Move on.
Rahul, are we going to have a debate or?
Yes, we are going to. Dr. Ranganathan, go ahead. Yes.
Thank you.
Boss, your boss
yes.
घर का program है यार, चिंता क्यों करते हो?
You know, Rahul, please. You know, this is yesterday also. This was the same with Mr. Sanjay Jha today as well. And you know, to beat it all, he's a good friend. Now, Sanjay, don't do this.
No, you're a good friend, but it's time to call out.
Don't. No, but I mean, what's all this thing with about, you know, ghar ka hi chant? What's all this? Yeah, don't do this. I've been waiting. I've been listening to you for 9-10 minutes.
Correct.
This is unfair because, as Rahul said, it eats into other people's time. It's unfair.
Correct. Absolutely.
I mean, the viewers are not interested in listening to, you know, what we are telling each other. They want to hear about the matter. So can I please? Thank you.
Anand, can I say something to Sanjay Jha?
Okay.
Go ahead. Ms. Sherwani, go ahead.
Yes, Sanjay Jha, I come from an old Congress family. My grandfathers went to prison with Jawaharlal Nehru, and I remember it was the Congress that taught us to fight against Parda. It was the Congress that taught us to fight for the emancipation of women. It was the Congress that wanted to do away with Ghungat, give property rights to women. I don't know what has happened to the Congress, what has happened to the party from which my family originally came. We learned all our fight from the Congress. Now, how can the Congress today say hijab does not exist in the Quran, it does not exist in our constitution? So Congress should come out vociferously and oppose the hijab. The BJP may be opposing it for any hidden agenda, as you all claim, and I may also agree with you there, that they don't really love Muslims and they're only doing this to rile Muslims because Muslims seem to adore the hijab. Muslim men love the hijab. But why is the Congress not supporting Muslim women? Because we are the ones who supported the Congress. And now I find it impossible to support the Congress's stand. I would like to support your stand. Why don't you make it possible for me to support the Congress? Why does the Congress not support itself for a change? Why aren't you on the right side of the argument?
Yes, he's not on the right side. And that's what worries me. Now, 1 minute. Sanjay Jha, no, 1 second. You will respond to both. No, please, 1 second. let me come in here. I'm coming in here. I'm lowering everyone's faders. After Amina Sherwani, Dr. Ranganathan and Sanju Verma will all have their say. Sanjay Jha and then Ifra Jahan can respond to them. Yes, Dr. Ranganathan.
Yes. Now, can I please continue?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. No, Rahul, I was about to begin with commending you for bringing out that data that unequivocally shows that Modi, in fact, has done more for the minorities than even Manmohan Singh did. Data doesn't lie. Data is not politics or opinion. Minorities before 2014, let me add to that data, 20,000 skill trained, 5% with central government jobs, 3 crore scholarships, 70% girls school dropout rate. Minorities after 2014, 2 million skill trained, 10% with central government jobs, 5 crore scholarships, free UPSC coaching, 30% girls school dropout rate. But the fact of the matter is you can do as much as you want. But Rahul, it is not going to change the commandment and orders that have been prescribed and proscribed for 1,000 years. So let's be honest about it. This is not the time to be politically correct. So I want to say this, that the praise by Al-Zawahiri is entirely in keeping with the concept of the Ummah. It is not just about the hijab. It is about looking out for a fellow Muslim and playing the victim card at the first available opportunity. No matter that the person playing it is a terrorist. Please remember, Islam transcends national boundaries. You are a Muslim over and above everything else. We have to understand this psyche, Rahul. Ambedkar understood it really well as he reiterated that as far as Islam is concerned, quote, the world is divided into 2 regions, Dar al-Harb and Dar al-Islam. And Muslims cannot rest. These are his words. They cannot rest. Now, why am I being interrupted?
The Muslims. Will no one take a balanced stand?
Why am I being interrupted? Rahul, this is, this is bad for the viewers.
Amina Sherwani, let him finish. You can respond to him. You can respond to him. Let him finish.
And they don't need to be back.
Okay, 1 second. Amina Sherwani, you can respond to him.
Such conspiracy
we are not going.
The Muslims is also very, very unfair and very, very dangerous.
So we are not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere. You can respond to him. I'll give you time, please. Let people have their say. Everyone has had their say. Please.
Yes. Anand, you need to stop being vicious. You're very, very vicious.
Okay.
Exactly.
Listen, Ms. Sherwani. Rahul, are we going to have this debate or not?
No, 1 second.
I'm at my tether's end. I've been waiting for 20 minutes.
Yeah, 1 second. Ms. Sherwani, you can say anything you want to right after this. Let him finish his point of view. You'll have better points to score.
Let him finish it.
Yeah, let him finish it. He allowed you to speak on his own time. That's so. Please, yeah. Dr. Angana, make your point. Finish that point. Yeah.
If ignoramuses like Ms. Sherwani have a problem, let them go back in time and fight with Ambedkar, not with me. I'm quoting Ambedkar. Ambedkar को slide करने में डरते क्यों?
Back in time.
मेरे को कहने में problem है. Now please, Rahul, I have never done this before, but I'm going to be silent now.
No, but
I'm not going to be allowed to speak.
Stop being vicious.
I'm quoting Ambedkar.
Very vicious.
But Ms. Sherwani,
Ambedkar is vicious. Are you saying Ambedkar is vicious?
Yes, you're being very vicious. You have to stop.
Why are you interrupting me?
There's a problem at hand. We have to get together and solve it no matter how.
Okay. 1 second. We're going completely off tangent. I'm going to step in here. Now, 1 minute. I'm going to step in here. Look.
This is ridiculous.
Look, viewers. This is an important debate tonight. An outside force, a hidden hand, call it what you want to, is riling up Indian Muslims. There are people on this panel and in the larger ecosystem that are allowing this individual who doesn't stand for anything that humanity represents to mislead. Now, I would want each one of us first on this panel to outrightly send a message to this Zawahiri character to shut up. It's very simple. There's no debate here.
All problems are sorted. Wow. And all problems are sorted.
Can I come in?
Now, 1 second.
Rahul, I haven't been
1 second. 1 second. It's a straight question. Everyone should tell him to unequivocally shut up.
If I could get my hands on Zawahiri, I would give it to him left, right, and center.
I'm glad.
But he hides in his holes.
But you see, Amina Sherwani, today you're in a minority. Because there are a large number of so-called moderates. No, 1 minute. There are a large number. 1 minute. 1 second, Sanjay Jha, please. Don't shout over me, please. I'm not going to get into this slanging match, please.
Al-Qaeda chief is right.
I'm going to lower this. You see, I'm going to ask a question. If the liberal ecosystem always expects the Hindu mainstream to condemn the actions of Hindu radicals, then why not call upon India's mainstream Muslims to do the same? Who is doing it? Has Rahul Gandhi tweeted, viewers? No. He lectures Hindus the whole day about differentiating between Hindus and Hindutva.
Going on and on. Wait.
It's a fact. You tell me, has he told Zawahiri to shut up? No. He doesn't. He tells Bhagwat to shut up. Because for him, Bhagwat is the biggest terrorist. That's rather bizarre. Sanjay Jha agrees. Let me go to Sanju Verma. Sanju Verma, respond. Charge is being made by Sanjay Jha. I'm coming to you, Dr. Anand. I'm coming to you. Let's just let everyone have their say. I'll come back to you. No one's running away from anything. Yes, Sanju Verma, go ahead.
Rahul, people. The fact of the matter is...
Please.
Because I was polite to people.
I'll come to you. Please. Yes.
Okay. Rahul, the fact of the matter is that, the Ottoman Empire has ceased to exist. The Khilafat movement started more than over 100 years ago. But we still have that Ottoman mentality, that Khilafat mentality which was likes of Muhammad Ali and Shaukat Ali. You gave some excellent data about how 31% of Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, 33% of Kisan Samman Nidhi Yojana, 37% of Mudra Yojana, and 36% of Ujjwala Yojana, all these schemes have benefited Muslims. I will just tell you one very important thing. We all believe, and I think even the Muslims believe, the Sachar Committee was founded in 2005 by Rajinder Sachar, the ex-Chief Justice of Delhi High Court. He submitted a 403-page report in 2006 where he said that 94.9% of rural BPL Muslims do not get free rations. Only 3.2% get subsidized loans, and only 1.9% benefit from the government subsidized food program. And do you know today, 100% rural BPL Muslim families get free ration. 100% Muslim families benefit from the government subsidized food program. And recently, Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi went on record saying that before 2014, less than 5% Muslims were there in central universities. Today, that number is over 10%. And just adding to your data, let me quickly say that in Modi government's first term, we gave scholarships to 3.9 Muslims. By the end of 2024, an additional 5 crore Muslims would have got scholarships. And let me tell you that for decades under the Congress, and this is the last bit of data which is very important, for decades under the Congress, I challenge anyone to challenge me. The Muslim male participation rate in employment in India never exceeded 49.5%. Today it is 57.2%. The Muslim female work participation rate. Please excuse me, I did not interrupt you.
What is
Sanjay Jha, let her finish. She never interrupted you. None of these speakers were interrupted by Sanju Verma. Yes, finish your point, Sanju Verma.
Yes, thank you. So the male work participation rate for Muslims has gone up, as I said, from 49.5% to 57.2%. for the first time in post-independent India's history, thanks to Narendra Modi. And the Muslim female work participation rate, the average for 6 decades was 14.2%, which today is 24.6%. So there's been a significant progress on that. And the last data, which is this, never in independent India did the Muslims make up for more than 3.3% of the IAS or IPS cadre. Today, that rate is more than 11%. So you call Narendra Modi a majoritarian. You call Narendra Modi a bigot. You call Narendra Modi a fascist. But the fact is, he has done more for Muslims than so many Congress governments
Correct.
over the last 6
Like
or 7
lynching.
decades. So,
Like
so
lynching.
Sanjay Jha, please keep your bhashan to
Like
yourself.
lynching.
I don't know why Rahul Shivshankar
Like
even
Muzaffarnagar
gave you the
riots.
respect of calling
Like
you
Delhi
a
riots.
Also come in,
Like Gujarat riots
Okay.
2002.
leader.
Okay.
You are
Let
a
me
suspended leader.
1 second. Let me ask the question. Let me ask the
मेरे
question.
बारे में चिंता मत
One
कीजिए,
second,
हाँ?
1 second, 1 second. If the statistics are right, and Sanjay Jha has said they're right, if there is no institutionalized discrimination, as the statistics suggest quite clearly, Ifra Jahan,
जी
why are you making Muslims, fellow Muslims, think they are being suppressed? Do you think you will get more votes if you put Muslim women behind the veil again? Do you think it will get you a seat in parliament? Simple question. Ifra Jahan.
Yeah. Rahul, I've come to the debate in the end and I will not be interrupted. You interrupt me, I'll leave the debate. Number one, saying that there is no institutional oppression on Muslims in India and therefore Muslims are doing well is similar to saying, given the fact that there is no institutional discrimination on Kashmiri Pandits in Kashmir or Jammu and Kashmir, therefore Kashmiri Pandits are doing excellent. It's as stupid as that. Number two, Ms. Sanju Verma says that the percentage of Muslims in UPSC right now is 11%. Lie. The percentage of Muslims in UPSC right now is 3%. It's actually a lot less than their institutional number. It's one woman. The number of women, Muslim women that should be on the corporate boards, we have 1/100th of that number in present life. So Muslims are actually doing absolutely terrible in terms of poverty, in terms of the lynch mobs that the government has set them off, and the kind of atmosphere that this government has created every day by raking up a Muslim issue so that we are felt as second, so that we always feel like, you know, we are second-grade citizens, because that's the kind of environment that's been set in. That's point number one. Point number two, you talk about Ayman Al-Zawahiri, whatever this guy's name is, support to us, or to Muskan's issue. Why don't you talk about the support of Malala Yousafzai, a woman who was shot in the face by Taliban? Malala Yousafzai, an anti-Taliban crusader in the world, came out and supported Muskan. That is the kind of support I want, not
Ifra
with
Jahan,
Ayman Al-Zawahiri.
she actually, 1 second, Ifra Jahan. Okay.
Last point to make.
Let me, no. You talked about, you used an unparliamentary
Let her
word.
finish, Rahul.
You talked about
interfere.
stupidity.
Let a woman
1 second, Laura
Let a
Fader.
woman
You
speak,
talked
Rahul.
about,
Last
1
point,
second, you
no,
talked about
let me
stupidity.
finish.
No, let me tell you.
No.
Now,
Let me-
viewers,
let me-
viewers, 1 second.
Last point.
1 second, Laura Fader. 1 second. Just 1 second.
Let us
Laura Fader.
assume-
Okay. Now, viewers. Now, listen to me. This lady said that it was stupid. This is the unparliamentary language this lady has used. Stupid. Stupid to suggest that if there is no institutionalized discrimination against Kashmiri Pandits in the valley, then there is none, viewers, against Muslims. Now, viewers, let me tell you, there is institutionalized discrimination against Kashmiri Pandits. Which institution in Kashmir gave them justice? Not one. But Muslims in our country get justice all the time. Just ask the Muslim women who were liberated from the tyranny of instant triple talaq, or the women who are today saluting the High Court, the 3-judge bench of the High Court, for upholding uniformity in the classroom and allowing them to integrate. Just think about that. And there are several others, viewers, in this country who have been liberated from the clutches of misogyny of various kinds. So, viewers, we've really got a problem, because there are certain individuals who are pursuing political ends who don't want to see the writing on the wall. And that is the writing on the wall. Those are the graphics that we have pulled out. No one has questioned these statistics. Nobody. No one said these are lies. And let me tell you, 9 IS officers have come from Kashmir, and all of them are Muslims. 9. But Ifra Jan will not look at that. Ifra Jan will talk about Article 370, which was, viewers, discriminatory in the extreme. She will back it, and I'll ask her this. Ifra Jan, do you back Article 370 that discriminated against Dalits?
Can I let me respond.
And
let
women.
Me respond.
In conjunction with 35A.
Let me respond, I'll respond. Let me respond.
Let me also ask you. You also did not
jawab
paraphrase.
to suno.
You also
Jawab
did
to
not
suno.
paraphrase your response by condemning Zawahiri. Why?
जवाब तो सुन लो. Okay, let me respond to you.
Do you celebrate the abrogation of Article 370, which was a discriminatory law?
Let me respond.
Answer the question.
Let me respond. Okay, thank you. Number one, Article 370 was not discriminatory. There were certain, however, discriminatory provisions in 35A. And if the government had just removed
but you went on with it, and you wanted reinstated.
I cannot really be speaking like that.
Viewers,
I cannot speak if I'm
interrupted. Ifra Jan today accepts that the entire panoply of laws were discriminatory, and she has the cheek to talk about institutional discrimination.
May I say something to Ifra Jan, like I said?
Please, Amina Sherwani.
It was your party national conference that got land rights for the poor Kashmiris, for the nomads, for the Kashmiris, for the lower caste Kashmiris. You opened colleges, you opened schools. It was a national conference that spread education. That is why today 9 girls have come into the IAS. Please take credit for that. Why are you screaming hijab, hijab? Why are you covering your head and covering and hiding? It is not part of the Kashmir
culture. It's not your business
to cover the head.
why I am covering my head.
When it is very cold. The head scarf has not saved anybody's chastity, and it never will. It might save you from a common cold. But it's not going to save your chastity as you all are suddenly beginning to claim. So take credit for what your governments have done. The Congress and the NC does not want to take credit for all the good work that they have done in this country, whose benefits are being reaped today. And yes, BJP has gone forward and done some bad and done some good, just as Congress has done some bad and done some good. For heaven's sakes, take credit for the good that you have done and support the cause of women so that you don't look like blackguards. You both the Congress and NC, आपने तो करा भी और आप तो मरे भी. ऐसे कैसे लोग हैं जो करते भी हैं और मर भी जाते हैं? फायदा तो लीजिए अपने करतूतों का.
नहीं लेंगे, क्योंकि वोट्स का फायदा लेना है from the patriarchs. ये वही मानसिकता है. This is the same mentality that went against. No, this is the same mentality. Look at Sanjay Jha today. He talks about oppression. 1 minute. He talks about oppression. But he had no problem. His party had no problem supporting the mullahs against Shah Bano. All she wanted was a life of dignity.
My party is secular. Congress is secular.
I can see that, sir. When you side with fundamentalists, that is secularism.
1 minute.
Sanjay,
Congress
it would be a good idea to accept your mistakes and move forward. Now, don't make the same mistake for hijab as you made for Shabano.
Instigated communal riots.
Okay.
It has not instigated communal riots.
Dr. Ranganathan. Now let me bring in Dr. Ranganathan. Now let's agree to disagree. If you disagree with Dr. Ranganathan, you can, please, but let him finish his point.
But Anand, please be nice. Don't be vicious.
If he's quoting, he's only asking you. By quoting Dr. Ambedkar, is he being vicious? He only asked you that question. You can respond to him right afterward. Let him at least make his point. We haven't even heard his point, and I think that's also a little intolerant of all of us. So let him make his point. Let him make his full point, and you can respond. Please, Dr. Ranganathan, go ahead. Sorry.
Thank you. I hope this time round, it's been 40 minutes, I will not be interrupted. Rahul, ये आप कैसे लोगों को लाए हैं? एक panelist was earlier insinuating that BJP gave RDX to the Pulwama bomber. That person is saying, look, why are you talking about... Now
please lower their faders. This is not right. He didn't interrupt anybody. Just lower their faders. Director Saab, please. Yes, Dr. Ranganathan.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now, this same panelist, bundle of lies, is talking about, why are you talking about Al-Zawahiri? Why don't you talk about Malala? Let me quote Malala. I'm quoting Malala. Though they were forcing women to wear burqas, wearing a burqa is like walking inside a big fabric shuttlecock with only a grill to see through. And on hot days, it's like an oven. At least I didn't have to wear one. ये Malala कह लिया burqe पे. यार कुछ facts हैं, कुछ data है, कुछ अकल है, कुछ वो लेके आओ debate पे. The whole millions of Indians are watching you. Please be embarrassed about this. And then, I'm not worried about the problem, Rahul, is that people like Al-Zawahiri are not a problem. They are terrorists, they're on the face. People like this Sherwani are the real danger to society because they are the one who cushion extremism. They are the one who practice al-taqiyya. Now this woman is complimenting National Conference. Really? For 70 years, National Conference had Article 370 that brutally trampled upon the human rights of Dalits, of Gurkhas, of refugees, of Sikhs, of Muslim women. तब कुछ नहीं हुआ. Compliment कर रहे हैं. And when I quote Ambedkar verbatim, she is saying, I am vicious. ये कहाँ से लोग, Rahul, do you have a conveyor belt? या ये free में buy one get one free आता है? कहाँ से panelists आ रहे हैं? Now can I please have my 1 minute or will I be interrupted again?
No, go ahead. Finish your point. Amina Sherwani will respond to you right after. Yes.
Yeah, let her. I don't care because she's a bundle of another.
No, it's okay. Look, just make your point.
I'm quoting Ambedkar. A country which is ruled by a kafir, said Ambedkar, is darul help to a Mussalman. The basic feelings of deference and sympathy which predispose persons to obey the authority of government do not simply exist. Unquote. Is Ambedkar being vicious? Let Sherwani have the guts to say it. And he had it. And I quote again, Islam is a closed corporation. And the distinction that it makes between Muslims and non-Muslims is a very real, very positive, and very alienating distinction. And the brotherhood of Islam is not the brotherhood of man. It is the brotherhood for Muslims and Muslims only. For those who are outside the corporation, there is nothing but contempt and enmity. Unquote. Thoda pad lo Sherwani, thoda pad ke aa jao.
Okay, Ms. Sherwani, Ms. Sherwani respond. Ms. Sherwani respond. I need to move on. Yes. Ms. Sherwani respond, please.
I'm sorry, I was unable to hear anything. My sound went off. I even texted the team.
There we go. How convenient.
No, it's not convenient at all. I cannot hear.
Anyhow, look, I don't want to go around this now, circle. No. The point is, viewers, it is actually shocking that despite the availability of statistics which suggests that there is no suppression against Muslims, there is a concerted attempt. 1 minute, please. Now, let me just sum up. I've been interrupted enough, please. That there is, viewers, a whole cabal of individuals who selectively cherry-pick instances. In every society, viewers, there are bigots. In every society. But when you amplify the anomalies and use them to tar the entire country in a particular brush, then viewers, you embolden all those who are militating against the nation from outside on a daily basis. And that is irresponsible. Two panelists I began by asking straight questions, never once came out and said in the very beginning, Mr. Zawahiri, get off your soapbox, come out of your cave, surrender to India first for the crimes that you've inflicted upon this nation. They didn't say it. Anyhow, I want to take a short break. I'll be right back, viewers, in just a few moments. Stay with me.